Hey everyone, Shakrez or Kayle here, and today we're taking a look at how Kayle is being played in high elo Korean solo queue. So right now, Kayle is showing a ban rate of between 10 and 20% and showing why she's one of the champions with the highest win rate. The Lich Bane nerfs meant that her mid-game power spike was delayed. She now either has to delay Lich Bane for a 4th, 5th item, or if she actually builds it early, you'll feel that you don't do enough damage. Mainly because of this Lich Bane nerf and alongside the Q nerfs, a new build has emerged in Korea. And what is it, you may ask? Berserker's Greaves, Nashor's Tooth, Runon's Hurricane, Rabadon's Death Cap, Void Staff, and an optional last item. So something like, what the fuck Runon's was your reaction? Probably. So let me explain. First off, it works when you're in ranged mode. Secondly, the immense attack speed allows you to stack up your passive extremely fast, allowing for tons of damage for you and your team. Thirdly, you become a split-pushing god, or goddess for that matter, and you'll take out a whole minion wave in about 1.5 seconds. And lastly, and this is the defining characteristic of Runon's Hurricane, it applies on-hit effects to all targets, 50% to secondary targets. And what on-hit effects might you ask? Nashor's Tooth's passive. Nashor's Tooth does a bit of on-hit magic damage that also scales with AP. Essentially, this build is a heavy AP build with strong on-hit damage and potential of shredding resistances extremely fast. Now on to the technicalities, runes, masteries, and all that stuff you want to know. And starting with runes, mostly I've seen a preference for attack speed marks and attack speed quints. Sometimes one ability power quint alongside those two attack speed quints. Seals are usually armor or health per level, depending on the lane you're up against. And for glyphs, I've mostly seen magic resist versus AP, and ability power, both flat or scaling, versus AD. Masteries are usually heavy offense. The most common options I've seen so far were 2703 or 3000. You can run either of those setups or run 2307 like I do. It's mainly a playstyle preference, take what you prefer and are comfortable with. So, onto the skill order, and all the players I scouted in Challenger and High Diamond in Korea have been maxing Q, followed by E and leaving the heal W for last, except for Dade, who preferred to go E, W, Q in the game I saw him play. The Q max makes sense because although you're going for a heavy attack speed build, you'll only really get Runons by level 12-13, and at this point you already have your E maxed as well. As for Dade's choice, he was mainly looking for self-sustain and early pushing power, so he opted for Q last. For summoner spells, I've mostly seen Flash Ignite, but Heal and Exhaust are also viable alternatives for Kayle. Again, depends on one's playstyle and matchup. Now then, going a bit more in depth on the build. Usually the start is the common Dorans and 2 potions, moving on to a Stinger and Berserker's Greaves. After completing Nashor's Tooth, I've mostly seen a Runon's Hurricane followed by a Rabadon's Death Cap. For late game, I've mainly seen 2 out of 3 items, either going for Void Staff into an Azani's Hourglass, or a Rage Blade into a Void Staff, not getting any type of defensive item. Having played around with this build, and unless you're extremely fed, I actually prefer to get a needlessly large rod before getting my Runons, just so the on-hit damage gets boosted before I start slapping people to death with 1.9, 2.0 attack speed. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the Rift. Shakrez signing out.